Welcome to Kingdom Builders Christian Center Church's weekly Impact Bible Study like none other, where you will hear the relevant, reviving, and refreshing Word of God. Now here is Pastor Vernon Brice.
Good evening and welcome to another Impact Bible Study here at Kingdom Builders Christian Center Church. I pray that you've had a blessed day today. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. We hope that you are, if nothing else, staying warm. And hope your day has been really relaxing. And those of you that had to get out in the cold weather, we hope that you went about it in a way that was pleasing to God. Amen? So I want to thank those that are on live with us. And thank you for, if you would, to get along and like it and sharing. I love that when you like and share, that let other people know that we're on Facebook Live on our church page. So if you're viewing us, like and share. And I want to tell you ahead of time, feel free to sow into this ministry. We're in 2025 for our first Impact Bible Study, and man, we just expect for great things to happen in this year. Even more so than last year. And so feel free to sow. You can look for the Givelify app and download it and look for Kingdom Builders Christian Center Church, or you can use the Cash App handle, the $KBCCC 55, and you will be sowing into good ground. Amen. All right. Now, we're going to start this year off with what I want to start it off with results. Our topic is results, godly results. We oftentimes spend a lot of our life going through life and don't get what I call the kind of results necessary to have a good life. And I'm not talking about just a good life with tangible things. I'm talking about a good life that's godly and that can help us live an abundant life. So we're going to talk about results. And it starts with the way we think. The way we think. You know, the Bible talks a lot about thinking. It said, think on these things. You know, it's talking about godly things. And it says, so the man thinketh, so is he. And that type of thing. And we just want you to know that you got to get your mindset right in order to get results that are godly. Okay? So when we look at results are really mostly dynamic. Results are dynamic, the right results, the godly results. When results are examined, they will expose many hidden elements, and they can cause a manifestation to become, if you will, historic footprints of a process. So you always need to think about things before you make a move on things, no matter what it is. Nothing's too small, nothing's too little, nothing's too big. Always think about things before you make a move. Sometimes we make moves without thinking about it. That's why our results are never what they should be. They're not the godly results. We don't consider God or consult God on our doings without even thinking about it. So when we properly manage and analyze the results, they become the catalyst to formulate a new process. So in this ministry, we hear the word a lot, and the word is excellence. Now, excellence has nothing to do with being perfect. Excellence in ministry, of this ministry, has everything to do with paying attention to detail. When we learn to pay attention to detail, we'll be thinking ahead. We don't wait for things to happen. We make things happen by thinking ahead. We properly prepare ourselves for it. If we know that we have to come to a building tonight, we don't wait till we get in the building, per se, to always turn the heat or air on. We try to make the preparation before people get here where they'll be comfortable when they get here. So preparation is always important. Preparation is always important. So we got to learn to develop what I call results-oriented mentality. We got to learn to think properly. We got to learn to think properly. And since we're an organization, since we're considered a church like none other, we got to learn to get on the fast track to learn to think properly so we can be more effective and be more efficient. Now, in 2025, we have to be more effective and be more efficient because of the warfare that's in the world today. We've got to be more effective and more efficient. We just can't keep doing things like we used to. We just can't keep doing the same thing we've been doing over and over again and expect different results. That's called insanity. In order to get different results, you have to do something different. You can't do the same thing all the time. We ought to be tired, if you will, of not having enough, or not always making the right choice, or not always getting the right results. That is very important. Results are about measuring your present statistics against your present goals to determine whether the outcome was favorable or not. So you should look at what you did last year, for instance, and look at what you plan on doing this year. Then you make the comparisons. Then you got to see, say, what did I do last January 2024 as compared to January 2025? And you make the comparison and see what the results are. If you're not any better off in January of 2025 than you were 2024, you need to look at what you're doing. Reconsider what you're doing. When you learn to reconsider what you're doing, it may be something you may need to change. No, nothing stay the same but change. I messed you up on that, I guess. Change stays the same. Why? Change is always changing. It never changes. It does what it do, change. Change is always changing. Somebody need to type that in the comment section. Change stays the same because it's always changing. So when we fail to think about what we need to do to get the right results, then we just plan to fail. Results reveal things that are working as planned, and it reveals things that can be improved, and it reveals things that can be eliminated. Now watch. Some things that we did in 2024 probably didn't work in this organization or ministry like we wanted it to. So that tells me right off the bat, something needs to change. Not that it was so much a bad thing, it wasn't the right thing, or it didn't produce the right results. You get it? It's like, let me give you a prime example. If you're swimming upstream, you follow me? You're swimming upstream. I can't swim, but pretend you can swim. You're swimming upstream, and you get tired. You get tired because you're swimming against the current. You're swimming upstream. Do you continue to try to swim and potentially drown, which will be the end result, or do you turn and swim toward the bank and get out and rest? Quite naturally, you turn and swim toward the bank, get out and rest, and then instead of swimming upstream, you just walk upstream. You see the end result? Now you don't be as tired because you're not swimming against the current. Now you're walking upstream. You made a change to get the best results you can get out of trying to go upstream. Am I making sense? You don't get tired and drown or commit suicide in a sense, but you get out and you walk up on the bank. You walk upstream. You got that? Okay, so results, the outcome of actions and strategies. We got to always, in an effective and efficient organization, always has to strategize. Now, what do I mean by that? You got to make plans. Jesus always had a plan. Jesus had one thing, and most people don't understand this when they read in the Bible. Jesus had a good marketing plan. He always made it known that he was coming to a city. or a town. He said, go and tell them I'm coming, or go and tell them this is about to take place. He might say, go borrow a man's donkey. Tell I need to ride his donkey in the town. He make it plain he finna come. He had a marketing strategy. He would send disciples before him, and they would get ready for things, but when he's coming. So when you learn to evaluate and accept or reject the outcomes that are favorable or not, then you learn to measure whether or not you need to come to a different resolve to do something different. I'll give you another example. So when you begin a new ministry, like with me, when we did this over 22 years ago, we began a new ministry, the attendance was great. Amen. The projected attendance, God had gave me a plan. Projected attendance would be this and another. And I was in a gymnasium, man. The gymnasium was almost packed every Sunday. And, man, thing was just rolling along. But watch, we didn't have the strategy in place to handle those that were coming. Therefore, it ended up being not successful, or the results weren't good. And all the time, you can't always look at numerical statistics. You got to look at what's being effective. God has used this ministry in more cases than one when the house was not packed, when it got down to maybe just a few here and a few there. God was most effective in the ministry then than it was with a house full. Now, don't get me wrong. A house full can do more, but a lot of time a house full can get less results, less effective results. But a few can do, and God don't need everybody to do everything, but he needs you to do what you need to do. Got it? Okay, so we got to get this down in us. And so we're not talking about just, when we're talking about increasing in tangible things, we got to increase, watch this, in knowledge. If we learn to increase in spiritual knowledge, then the results of what we're doing as a ministry will be more effective and efficient. Each individual has to get a relationship with the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in order to better their relationship with him to be more effective in ministry. If we are one body with many parts, if everybody would do what they're needing to do or what they are called to do and understand what their purpose is, spending time with the Lord, then you would be able to do more and be more effective in ministry, and the result would be we get more done. We get more done. That would actually be what needs to be done. So, truth be told, every achievement as well as every problem is a result of some action that was either taken or overlooked. In this ministry, when we meet and talk about and strategize, and God gives me a plan on what we need to do, that's what we need to follow and not deviate from it, so we'll be successful and have the right results. Everybody needs to play their part. A lot of times when like on Sundays, when soon as service is over, and I'm not complaining, I'm just showing how things work. So oftentimes, soon as service is over, people are gone. Even the officers, they're gone. I mean, you can't find one. You may need one just for 2 seconds. They're gone. They're gone. It's very few that are still around to say, does anything need to be done, or do we need my assistance, or what can I do to make ministry more easy or make the ministry more functional? We're gone. We're going to see about everything. We're in a hurry for everything. And I understand that across the board in general, we're too busy. We're too busy that we can't take care of God's business, and we can't listen to what God is trying to tell us. That's why the results aren't as great as they should be in this ministry. Oh, we have good results. I'm not complaining. We have good results. But here's what's actually happening. It happens in no matter what the numerical number is. If we had 1,000 people strong, there's only going to be about 50 people that's going to actually do kingdom work that keep things functioning. But everybody, the whole 1,000 would benefit. You understand? So we got to learn to do our part where everybody would have the opportunity. It's more than just coming to church on Sundays. This is what our strategy should be. we should prepare Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday for Sunday. It's just like for tonight, we should prepare Monday, Tuesday, as well as Wednesday for Wednesday. We can't wait till Wednesday to prepare for Wednesday. Not really, you can't. And you can't prepare for Sunday to prepare for Sunday. You got to be ready and prepared. Suppose teachers in their different classes waited till the day of. Guess how that would go in class? Guess how that would go? You got to prepare. Always be preparing yourself. And we have a purpose. Every activity, every department head needs a strategy that must have a defined purpose if achieving results is a priority. Every ministry, from children's ministry, there should be, watch this, there should be some kind of strategy to receive the results that is looked for in the children's ministry. Give you a prime example. There should be time set aside doing praise and worship for the children to praise and worship. There should be a time. We shouldn't be in that big of a hurry. We shouldn't be that down, so mediocre that we can't deviate. We gotta give the kids an opportunity, because sometimes they want to sing, and they want to get into worship with us as well, doing what they know to do. And we got to allow that and make room for that. We got to do that. We got to do that quick. We just can't be, give you a prime example, like the usher ministry. If you're ushering, you can't see what's happening on inside of the sanctuary if you looking out the door and seeing what the cars and trucks that's going by. No, you got to pay attention to what's going on the inside to be an effective and efficient usher. It should be, I go higher, up in ministry, the ministry team, be it the deacon, the associate pastor, whatever it may be, praise leader, we should be prepared at all times to do what needs to be done to carry on, praying, whatever we do, praying, ushering, or running the camera, running the audio, the video, whatever it may take to do. We should be ready to do. Make the announcement clerk may be out of pocket. They ain't ready to make the announcement. Most times it's up on the screens anyway. So it should be ready to do just those things. And we can do it by simply asking the right questions, and you can establish why the task is being proposed, what the expected results are. We ought to be a well-oiled machine all the time. We should be. We should be. It's not one person. If we learn to communicate properly, then our results will be better in ministry. If we learn to communicate properly. Okay? So, we got to learn to get that together, because that is real, real vital. Hold on just a minute. Let me get something up. We got to get it so I can see exactly what I'm talking about. So, now, when we learn to ask the right questions and do the right things, we will be in the right perspective. Now, this will set the stage for us to recruit the active participants. There are people really that want to do some things in church, like I talk about the young people or the youth ministry. They want to be a part of praise and worship, and we should have let them. We should let the children sing. We got little bitty kids that's singing songs in the back a lot of times. We need to bring them out front and let them participate out here and let them see. That's the purpose that we need, okay? Then we should set our priorities. First things first. First things first. We got to always put ourselves in the right perspective. The house of God on Sundays and Wednesdays, and any other time really, but especially Sundays and Wednesdays, should become our first priority. For an instance, if we're going to have prayer to get the right results at 8:45, you can't be here at 8:45 and disrupting prayer. You need to be here before 8:45 so we can obtain the results we need. We're praying not just to pray because it's 8:45. We're praying and know how to pray. We learn how to pray right or effectively so we can get results. See, praying is not just coming and mumbling our words. We got to learn to pray properly. We need to learn to first address the Father in heaven. If we address him right, then we'll find out that he'll hear a prayer more reverently than you thought before. We'll address the Father in heaven. Then we give our petition or make our request. Then we end it not for his sake, for our sake. He don't need anything. We need him. We need him. And then we're better to go when that takes place. Okay? So priorities in implementing and evaluating any strategic plan. Okay? We have a strategic plan, and oftentimes during the year we have to revamp it a little bit, make some changes, do the things we need to do. Then we're better off when we do that. So it's like if we call, and I can tell you this right off the bat, I'm the worst one about wanting to have a meeting. You know, I'm not really, I am. But meetings are necessary in order to get strategic things in place. Once we learn to get strategic things in place, then we're better off for it. We're better off for it. We learn to do things properly when we get things in a strategic manner. It's like you see your tire going down. You wouldn't wait till it go all the way down to add air. You would add air to it before it go flat. Okay? So that brings me to the organization, which is us. Okay? Organizations and order are several of the fundamentals for success. What did I just say? I'm talking about, if you will, organization and order. God runs his organization decent and in order. That's how he does it. The church is his organization, and he wants his church ran decent and in order. Not just any old way, not shooting from the hip. No, we should have something in place. For instance, like you see me on the camera on Facebook, we have to come and prepare to be ready to live stream. We just don't live stream right off the bat. We should be prepared. We have to come and prepare the cameras, prepare the audio, video for us to be. We have to check the mics. Make sure the mics are ready. Make sure they got fresh batteries. That type of thing. So without those things in place, there will be a lot of, if you will, chaos and confusion. When you don't prepare and do things in an orderly fashion, things will be out of whack. They will be out of whack. And we don't want things to be out of whack. We want things to run decently and orderly. We want things to be in order where we can get things done like they need to be done. That's the purpose of it. Okay? So, then when we do that, then until we get the resources and staff properly placed and coordinated, the best results cannot be achieved. That's why everybody, there are no little I's in here and no big U's. Everybody is important. Everybody is important in ministry, in this ministry. Every office, every ministry is important. Every one of them. There's not one that's less important than the other, or nor more important than the other. Every ministry in here is important, from the pastor down to the youth ministry, the men's ministry, the women's ministry, whatever ministries they are all important. Secretary is important. Associate pastor is important. COO is important. CFO is important. Administrator is important. Deacons are important. Trustees are important. Everybody's important. Those are just sitting in the seats. You are important. You got a purpose, and we all are important, and we make the ministry effective. We all can do something. Order is just not an organizational concern. We should possess internal organization. What I mean by that internal organization, that means you got to get your thinking right. Go back. So the man thinker, so is he. You got to think orderly. You can have what I call cluttered thinking. Here's how I'll draw the cluttered thinking thing together. You ever been to your favorite restaurant, or maybe your favorite restaurant, say they have a salad bar. And you go to the salad bar, and you get everything on the salad bar, even though you don't eat everything on the salad bar, but you get everything and put it on your plate. And then you get back to the table, you knowing you don't eat everything on the salad bar, so now you got all this on your plate. What do you do with it? You don't do anything with it. You just let it sit there. That you don't eat just go to waste. There was no need of getting it just because it was there. You should have just got what you were going to eat. And you would have been more satisfied and more effective, and would have been less waste. You got it? You can have too much on your plate. That's when it comes to the business side. People are always busy. You better check yourself being that busy. I used to think this all the time, and I thought this a lot, and I still think it. Do I have any more business now that I did 22 years ago that I have to have a phone in my hand every day? I think about that. And when I think about it, I can't think that I do have more business now than I did then. I do more important things now than I did over 22 years ago. But do I need the phone in my hand every minute of the day? The answer is no. No. And some days they need to be set aside. I mean, you know what I'm saying. You need to set it aside. You know, I know we look at movies and we read stuff, and I read stuff on mine. I don't look at movies. Number one, I don't really know how to get the movies up, and I really don't care about looking at a movie on it. But I read some things, and I study some things, and I follow along with some things on it. But other than that, I don't really need it all day, every day. Got it? So this means being organized in our thinking again. We got to learn to get our thinking in order. Sometimes when we're not thinking right, I call it stinking thinking. Because we're not thinking right. Disorganized thinking will handicap your ability to comprehend and your ability to concentrate. You can have what's called cluttered thinking. Disorganized, you all over the place. You ever been having a conversation, you talking about this, then before you can finish talking about you change, talk about something else? That's because your thoughts aren't organized. And then you can't remember some things you need to remember. That's because you got so much you're trying to remember. Because you got cluttered thinking. We got to learn to get the best results. Learning to think systematically and spiritually should be a priority for every success-minded believer. And we are successful-minded. We are successful-minded. We're looking to do better things in 2025. We're looking to grow, gather, and go. We must be organized in our approach to our various tasks so that the complex thinking becomes simple. If we organize, it's almost like changing oil. You don't really, the cars, vehicles are fixed now where they tell you need to change oil. But, it used to be every 3,000 miles you change oil, and you just did it with 3,000 miles. Now, needless to say, organization of your time is critical for superior performance in life. Time management is simply structuring the relevant activities in timely manner. In other words, first things first. First things first. If you know Wednesday night is Impact Bible Study at 6 o'clock, you should be preparing for Impact Bible Study at 6 o'clock. That's ministry. First things first. First things first. And that's what it's about. Okay? Now, I got just a little more time left, and then I'm going to be ready and let you go for this first Wednesday in 2025. know that when we get ourselves together, okay, when we learn to prioritize everything we need to prioritize, then we'll be successful minded. We don't need to wait on the next person to do what we know to do. We need to go on and do it, and then or make an attempt to do it, and then by communication you may find out that it's already done and you don't have to do it. Got it? Those things are important. So I'm going to stop right there for tonight because I want us to be organized in our thinking. So the man thinketh, so is he. Learn to think properly. Organize your thoughts. Learn to give God glory first thing in the morning. Learn, and when you get ready to go to bed at night, thank Him for a day. No matter how it went, thank Him for it before you close your eyes and try to go to sleep. Just give Him a thank you, and you'll find out things will be more prioritized in your life. I hope something was said to help you with results, and we're going to continue with results. We just starting on it. I just hit some high points tonight, but we're going to continue with godly results in the way we think, okay? So, again, feel free to sow into this ministry. I wish that you would. You know, so use the cash app, the $, KBCCC 55. That's the $, KBCCC, 3 C's, 55. And you'll be sowing on the good ground, or use the Gilead app. Look for Kingdom Builders Christian Center Church. And remember, we're much better in person, but you stay focused, you stay in faith, and you stay connected to the church like none other. We are Kingdom Builders Christian Center Church. Come see us Sunday. We'd love to have you. Have a great night.